Hey Van Heist, welcome back. Happy February, happy Black History Month. We're going to be taking an extra special look at some Black artists in history that have really wildly impacted the art world. And we're going to start today with a folk artist named Horace Pippin. Now, folk art is really any art form that originates among the common people of a culture and usually reflects their everyday life. And it also is usually created by unschooled artists, people that did not spend time going to art school and learning all these things. Oftentimes, folk artists are self-taught. And Horace Pippin is a great example of a self-taught artist. His works depict African-American life and his experiences in World War I. When you take a look at these artworks, do you notice what color tends to stand out in these paintings? If you said red, I think you're spot on. This week, we'll be reading a book called A Splash of Red, The Life and Art of Horace Pippin. And inside the book, we're going to come across a photograph of the artist sitting at his easel in maybe his bedroom. And this was really striking to me because I thought it really reminded me of how even though we're doing art together through Zoom, we are all really at home alone doing these projects. So I wanted to see if we could create a drawing that depicts us sitting at an easel and creating a painting or a drawing. So I'm excited to try out this two-part project. Let's get started. So for this Horace Pippin inspired drawing, today all you'll need is some paper, a pencil, and an eraser. And we're actually going to start with drawing a self-portrait, but it's not going to be like a portrait we've drawn before. I want you to draw a picture of yourself, but from the back. We are going to be drawing ourselves from the back. We're going to be imagining that we are sitting at an easel. And an easel is a large kind of desk or table that stands upright for artists to work on. So I'm actually going to start with the back of my head, and you can follow along too. Just making a nice light sketch. Now that's going to be the back of my head. I can do my hair a little bit later. But now I'm going to show myself sitting in a chair. Now I've got kind of short hair in the back. If you have longer hair, it could come down. So I'm going to draw my neck and maybe the top of my back right there. And that's going to go into my shoulders. And since my arms are kind of tucked in and facing forward, each arm is just going to look kind of like a little nubbin, just like this. All right, so that's the back of my head and my shoulders down to my elbows. Now I'm gonna draw myself sitting in a chair. So I'm gonna make, maybe like a rectangle here and a few pieces of the chair coming down this way that kind of connect to the bottom of the chair. If you want to try and draw a chair that you really have, you can do that. Or if you just want to do something like this, that works too. Now let's see. I know that my legs would sort of be about here, so maybe I'll do something like that. So that's at the bottom of my shirt. And now my chair legs are going to come down. And maybe my legs are crossed. And we'll see those legs on the other side of this chair. So I'll do one like this, and another one kind of like this. Now, our drawing is coming together. I'm going to start to draw the easel that I'm working at. So I'm going to make a line that kind of goes around the center of my tummy. Maybe a few inches on either side. And then it's going to come up. I want it just over the top of my head. And I'm going to do a larger rectangle around that. So this would be like my paper or my canvas. And the larger rectangle is going to be the wooden easel. The easel can have legs that come down like this. Okay, so here we've got me sitting, looking at an easel. Now the rest of this area, I want you to design, think about the space that you work in. Do you work in a bedroom? Do you work in an area of your house next to a window? Horace Pippin would draw things and paint things that he would see happening around him. So oftentimes he was looking out the window and seeing what was happening, and he would be inspired by that. So I'm actually going to draw my window right next to me. All right, so I've got myself sitting at my easel. I have my window. Now the rest of this project is up to you to add details. Now we want to be truthful to who we are and where we are creating art. So I want you to look around wherever you're drawing right now and think about, is there curtains on the window? What's happening outside? What can I see outside my window? What kind of things do I have on the walls? Are there posters? Are there pictures? What kind of things might be sitting around the ground wherever I am? Maybe it's in your bedroom and there's some toys, or maybe you're in an office and there's some books or papers. I'm gonna start adding some details, not too many, but I want to add some details just to give this a more personalized look to this room that I, as the artist, am working in, and make it a little bit more personal to me. So here I go. Okay, there you have it. My drawing is complete. Now, next week, you're probably wondering, Mr. Lynch, you haven't put anything on your easel. That's what's going to be happening next week. We're going to be adding a little bit more to that. We're going to be talking more about Horace Pippin and the imagery he would include. Today was just about showing you wherever you are. So this doesn't look exactly like where I work at my house, but I included some things that I have in real life. You can see, I've got me and the easel outside my window. I live on the 3rd floor of a house, and I can see out my window Lake Monona. I included my record player, and there's a bunch of records. That's how I like to listen to music sometimes. I have a little jade plant that I keep in a pot. You'll probably recognize this is part of a poster that actually hangs behind me when we do our Zoom lessons. It says, "Learn, Make, Share." I included a VHE pennant. Now, I don't actually have one of these, but I would like one. So this can include things that maybe you want to have in your room or in your space. And then you'll probably notice R2-D2 on his stool right next to me. So I'm really excited to see what you end up drawing and creating and how you show yourself working in the place that you call home. We're going to be sharing these this upcoming week, and then next week we'll add color, and we're going to be talking a little bit more about what you as an artist are creating. But for this week, I just want a pencil sketch of you working on a drawing or a painting in your room or wherever you like to work. Thanks so much for watching, Van Heist. I can't wait for next week when we get further into this Horace Pippin inspired drawing. But until then, I hope you have fun with it and have a great week. Happy Black History Month.